everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session episode number 669. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Mako-chan, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
Yay.
As you can tell, Ari is so enthralled by that.
I've just been tired the past few days, so...
I understand those feels.
That has been me the last week. Don't know why, but you know. But at least I get to sleep in for at least a good hour and some change tomorrow morning, so. Hell, I haven't even packed yet. And for those of you who are wondering, we are off, well, most of us are off to Zenkai-Con this weekend. And normally, I would already been packed, like, between Sunday and Monday, I would have been packed, ready to go. And then tonight, just the last minute stuff. But in the smaller studio, no. And it's not like...
Honestly, I can just throw my stuff together like an hour or so before having to go out. So it's not that big a deal to me.
I think that's what it's come down to, because when you go to enough anime cons and you mentally know the cosplays you're bringing and you know where all of your accessories are, you get packed within an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right after I edit the podcast and get it onto the audio feed and get the video, the VOD up, I'm probably going to spend the next half hour just pulling everything down that I need and then look at it and be like, yes, this is everything. Throw it all in the suitcase, put it outside in the foyer, and then just grab it as I go out tomorrow, and that's it. The only thing is, I forgot to pull money from the ATM.
Yeah, but you can do that anytime, right?
No, well, the plan was to get up, receive my Target groceries, have breakfast, go get a haircut, come back, do a small load of laundry, because I had back-to-back weekends. Go get my hair cut with my luggage and then make my way. But now I'm going to have to get my hair cut first because there's a bank. My bank is right there. It's like on the route. And honestly, I do not feel like having to pay a fee. I mean, there's a 7-Eleven along the way, but most of those, they don't let you take money out anymore. I'm like, this is bullshit. So, anywho, enough about that. Let's get the show on the road, because I was already late as is getting everything together, because in all of my infinite wisdom, I decided to change the audio output settings, and it just wasn't picking up for recording, and I'm just like, well, shit. Anywho, enough about that. Let's get the show on the road. We are live tonight, week of March 18th, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us on Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. Again, that is vognetwork.com. They're also on Twitch as well. You can find them at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And every show as a part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel. So come out and hang out those channels over on our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. And now we got that out the way, we're going to go around the room with everyone's how was their weeks and days. And in Mako's case, Eternia. So, Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day? How was your Eternia?
Yeah, so I just have to say this. Lego's teaming up with Pokemon. So there will actually be legit Lego Pokemon sets coming out in 2026.
Talk about legitimately having to collect them all.
Yeah, but besides that, so let's see. 2 weeks ago, I wasn't feeling well. So ended up going back to urgent care and got another round of steroids, and this time antibiotics because my cough wouldn't go away. And luckily, my cough started going away.
Oh, that's good.
When my cough started going away, I noticed that I was having severe tooth pain.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that weekend, I spent the entirety of it basically in bed on pain meds until I could actually get in with my own dentist on Monday. And they didn't do anything on Monday because my tooth was not loose, so they couldn't just pull it for me. They had to wait until the oral surgeon was in the office, and the oral surgeon wouldn't be in until the next day. So, yeah, fun times.
Well, that's not good.
Nothing about that sounds fun.
Yeah, no. So I missed way too much work and basically did absolutely nothing. And then to make myself feel better, I did a little bit of retail therapy.
Of course you did.
Yeah, and got myself some building sets.
But sounds like that cough is coming back.
Right now it's because of allergies. Yeah, the allergies, the pollen around this, time of year, it gets really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, everything just sucks.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Ari, how was your week? How was your day?
Pretty boring for the most part.
Oh?
There's a lot of work-related stuff, and well, with the Zenkai coming this weekend, I'm kind of sort of focusing on that. I have to, I did my whites today, but tomorrow after work, I got to, do the rest of my laundry so I can actually have, decent clothes for the convention. I'm also, like I said, this will be my first time taking a train to the con, so that should be a fun experience.
Yeah. I mean, I did it a few years ago. It wasn't so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can just get my stuff ready in like an hour-ish before leaving, so it's not like I'm like scrambling even now to get stuff together.
Well, as for my weekend days, same old, work and so forth. A pressure went out that our CEO is retiring and the current president's going to become the CEO, which is all nice, all good news, all that stuff. Whatever makes everyone happy and all of that. But back in my mind, I'm like, something's going to go wrong while I'm out of work. Because normally I used to take like from Thursday off. Now, because of PTO and so forth, I take Wednesday off. That way gives me plenty of time to wake up a little bit later, make sure everything is packed, ready to go, and make my merry little way. Because I have to do personal things tomorrow, I can't leave at the time that I want to, so I'm going to probably be sleeping on the train to see Secret Witch's place before we head on out Thursday morning. So there is that. And speaking of tooth, and I realized that I have, like, years ago they did I had dental work done because I had no choice but to. One of the teeth in the back kind of got pushed down towards the back, and it's been chipping here and there. So, yeah, a couple more pieces chipped off while I was eating dinner tonight. So when I get back from this trip, I have to find a dentist to see if they can extract this one tooth and just call it a day. And it's funny is after I had the teeth extracted, they're like, you should get like not implants, but like falsies. I'm just like, nah, I don't want no damn falsies. I just like my teeth the way they are. I'm like,
yeah, and it's gonna be visible. There really is no point to it.
Exactly.
I have one that I got probably 5 years ago, and I put the bone implant in for the implant. I just never got the implant because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't even planning on getting the implants until, much, much later in life. I just did it because I know that when you get your teeth pulled, your teeth shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why I got it. So the bone didn't deteriorate around the gap, because I have teeth on both sides of it. The one I just had pulled is all the way in the back and was the last tooth on that side.
Oh,
I ain't doing shit.
that's the one that's got to come out.
Yeah, I ain't doing shit for that. You can't see it when I open my mouth. It's the last one there. So if the bone does start to deteriorate, it's not going to pull, another tooth really with it, because there's no tooth on the other side of it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about getting it pulled because there's still something left. So we'll see what the dentist says, if it can come out or not. We'll see.
I mean, if it's chipping, it's more than welcome. They're gonna pull it for you, either that or cap it. And truthfully, if it's not, noticeable, you might as well just get it pulled.
Yeah. I just remember the last time they pulled, it was hell on earth. I was numbed up like nobody else's business. So at least I have decent insurance coverage. I don't have to go to the dental school. I mean, I went there. I only paid like $200, but hey.
Yeah, I didn't pay anything for my emergency dentist visit, and I only paid $80 for my tooth to be pulled.
Where did you go?
My normal dentist.
It
just happens to be my dental insurance.
Oh, okay.
It's cheap to get things pulled out, but if you want your teeth actually worked on, that's when it gets expensive.
That's
and
true.
My dentist straight out said that root canals last anywhere between 7 and 10 years. So if you have a root canal that lasts longer than that, you got your money's worth.
Well, fair enough then.
But they end up having to be pulled anyway. So if you plan on living more than another 10 years, you might as well just get it pulled, because that's where it's going to end up.
Well, there you go. All right, now we got that out the way. Some housekeeping notes. Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page. They go live Thursdays at 12 p.m. noon. This is, excuse me. This is perfect for those who don't sub to the channel and they want to see much older episodes going past a year or something like that. So, that's perfect. So definitely check those out. The timing on those episodes may be slightly off when we fade in and out between the episodes and so forth, because I edit in Audition for the audio and then I edit in Premiere for the video, whatever. So, So check that out, enjoy, and let us know what you think. Don't forget also, we're kicking off the 2025 convention schedule for us, and this weekend we will be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at ZenkaiCon 2025. It is this weekend, the 21st to the 23rd. Some will say the 20th because they do have some stuff happening Thursday night. So come through, check it out, have a little bit of fun. And I'm just like, I gotta make sure that I don't go spending money in the dealer's hall, since I am going to Japan in about 2 months anyway. So
good luck with that.
Man, let me tell you something. I've been following my my crypto account. Yes, I have a crypto account, and I think I've already lost like $500 on it thanks to the stock market and the Orange and Chief. It is what it is. But then again, that's just the crypto account is just another backup account for me for money. So I'm not even worried about that because the trip is basically paid off. So
that's good.
Now we got that out the way, we're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our lives, what we're doing, what we're up to. So, Ari, what you got for Geek Roundtable?
That's something else I got off of an eBay seller.
Yeah.
And feel free to ask what it does, because you might be looking ads. You might be a little surprised, but be confused by it.
Okay. Oh, it's the Pot of Greed.
Yep. It's very nice, very well put together. And like the top is very small compared to like So trying to drink out of this thing is going to be impossible. Not that I was planning on doing so anyway. But hey, it arrived just after the Ulrich figurine I got within the same week or so.
Well, if you put a large tube on top and drill a hole on the side, it could be the bong of greed.
Don't look too hard into Yu-Gi-Oh's card database. You might find a card with that exact same name.
Bingo. All right, Mako-chan, what do you have for Geek Roundtable for us tonight?
Johnny 5.
Johnny
Yay!
5 Alive.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there was a movie in the 80s called Short Circuit.
I love that movie.
Yeah, so did I.
I freaking love the movie so damn much. It still amuses the hell out of me that, in 86, they were still using white guys as East Asian Indians in movies.
Hey, leave Fisher Stevens alone, okay? He was a hacker in Hackers too.
I know. He was in a lot of things, and I absolutely adore him. But to, look at this guy and go, oh, hey, yeah, it's just the times. The times they are
changing.
Yeah, well, I mean, not even that. The times were a little fucked up back then.
Wow,
but yeah, so in my retail therapy, I decided to look at the non-Lego brick builds that were, on the internet for purchase, and I saw Johnny 5, among other things. So I had to get him. He was under $20. I had to get him.
Fair. And Sidabiri wants to know, will you also get the little aliens from Batteries Not Included?
Wow,
no.
That was a deep pull.
I know.
But they do have Audrey too, so that's gonna be my on my next purchase list.
From Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
There are actually a couple of different sets for Audrey too. So I have to look and see which one looks best, but there are like 3 different versions out there.
Now everything, you know what I want them to do? Just create like the UFO from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
If you look hard enough, you could probably find someone who made that themselves from scratch.
I would like a miniature version of that, and just put it on a string and just hang it from the ceiling or something.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really nice knockoff bricks. I got one that I'm working on. It actually comes with lights in the kit already.
Yeah.
Pieces are so freaking tiny. I actually had to push that one away and build this one just because the pieces are so tiny. My eyes were going, they started hurting that's how tiny some of the pieces are. So I'm just like, all right, I need a break from that one.
Yeah, trying to work the, I've used those bootleg sets before, and trying to work this tiny little piece with these fucking sausage links is very timing, tiring. That's what I was looking for.
And the set that I got is something like 3,000 pieces. So
wait, how many pieces?
Like 3,000.
Shit, for a second I thought you had 30,000.
No,
I think on one of the Sailor Moon Facebook groups, I think someone actually did one of the Senshi in Legos. I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, there are some programs out there that will, approximate a build for you. But there are people that just go out and build that stuff, and they'll put what they did and the bricks that they used online for you to be able to build it yourself.
Yeah, there's a site called Rebrickable that does stuff like that.
That sounds cool.
Like that's actually what I'm thinking about doing for some of the actual Lego sets that are discontinued.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and just buy the pieces and grab the instruction manual offline.
Yeah. Hell, I
So
mean, you can go to the Lego store itself and get the individual pieces.
yeah. But I mean, when you're building an actual kit like that, it's easier just to buy them online in bulk.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I
But
remember.
there are plenty of them that have been discontinued, like the Nightmare Before Christmas one.
Mhm.
That sold out right away.
I,
And
I,
yeah.
I'm still pissed I never got my hands on the powered wind turbine, the one that actually powers things. Because
you know, I always wanted to get into the Lego Technics, but I couldn't afford them, so I just stuck with the straight Legos. And I remember I used to have like a as a kid like a bucket, and I would just go in and just create and make stuff. But when I went into the military, my wonderful stepfather, while I was gone, thought it was in best interest to throw all my stuff out while they were putting my great grandmother in a nursing home. Instead of letting me know what was going on, he decided to just toss all of it. Well, joke's on him. Anywho, my Geek Roundtable, I think I caught up with an episode of anime. I think I watched anime. The 100 Girlfriends That Really, Really, Really Love You. I really enjoyed the dub of that one. And Hakari is still best girl so far. I think that's really has been it. Besides playing Yakuza 0, I'm on chapter 7 at the moment. And I don't know if I want to continue going through like the side games of like the side quests of like get like the cabarets and buying the real estate and all of that. I haven't decided. I might just go through the game and then just after I beat it, go back and try and go through all of that. You know, just see how it goes. I think I'm really am interested in this, and I already said once I finish Yakuza 0, I'm going to go into my PS4, PS5 collection, grab one of the games I bought that doesn't take long to like play through or whatever, or get a chunk into. I'm gonna do that and then jump back into Rebirth. So since I have the this Kobayashi's Dragon Maid visual novel shoot 'em up, I may jump into that for a little bit before I get back into FF7 Rebirth. Because honestly, Rebirth is the only reason why I bought a damn PS5 in the first place. Sitting there going, I'm going to buy the game once the game is out, and I pay that bill. I'm going to go ahead and buy the console. So there. And let's see, I think I bought the regular one. I got the vertical stand, and I bought black panels to put on there. And what was cool about these have extra grates on them for better cooling because I couldn't wait for a D brand to put theirs out. So enough about it. So you know how that goes, and we all know how D brand operates. So. All right, now we got that out the way. We are going to get into tonight's show, tonight's episodes and topics. We have an extra topic on the docket tonight because tonight's articles were kind of too good to be true. I couldn't decide on what's good and what's not. So let's go ahead and kick things off. I believe I have the first story, and we're talking about anti-piracy. Yes. How often do we talk about that? Often. So it seems that major household names in the entertainment industry, including anime industries and mainstays, have met with a U.S. congressman who describes the prospect of foreign piracy site blocking measures as a not if, but when. As said by Torrent Freak, the Ankler shared that U.S. Rep. Darrell Issa held an off-the-record discussion with major companies such as Amazon, Disney, the CTA, the Consumer Technology Associations, and they represent Warner Brothers Discovery and other companies as well. The CTA works with regulators, legislators, and public policy stakeholders to represent the tech industry's interests. This was held at the LA Millennium Biltmore Hotel. The meeting discussed the challenges of foreign digital piracy and using the controversial method of site blocking to prevent access to these sites. There are numerous challenges to tackling overseas piracy. Many domains and servers originate from countries with lax copyright laws, which is true, which is why when one bootleg site goes down, 3 more pop up. And usually within a week. Without identifying operators, they can simply spin up a new site and move the users there, as this was the case when AnyWatch went down and they moved everybody over to High Anime. Site blocking would mean that ISPs, which facilitate a customer's access to the internet, can simply deny access to those piracy sites to U.S. customers. DNS resolution providers, which take a domain name like google.com and match it to the IP address, would also have to block its corresponding IP. ESA told the Ankler that discussions went well because there was a level of consensus on most of the issues by virtually everybody. There are solutions around the world, and we need to find one that works for the U.S. Following consultation with these companies, which include Paramount, Verizon, Google, YouTube, and others not present, ESA plans to table an anti-piracy bill named the American Copyright Protection Act. Boy. ESA's meeting is particularly notable in the timing and the members. Major entertainment companies have long pushed for site blocking laws, which have faced fierce opposition due to suggestions of censorship. Some of the most vociferous members of the opposition have come forward from members like Google due to previous bills perpetrated in overreach in the case of SOPA and PIPA. However, Google has previously sided with anti-piracy measures, aligning with ESA in 2012 with his co-authored Online Protection Open Digital Trade Act, called OPEN. This aimed to cut off the financial supply to websites rather than block access. Congressman Zoe Lofgren recently tabled an anti-piracy bill, seeking to define precisely what a piracy site is, whereas previous bills have criticized for being too broad. It also protects ISP and DNS resolvers, which are site providers, from being liable for damages even if access to a website was wrongfully terminated, thus liable for damages. Additionally, if these service providers who properly comply with court orders to block sites found to be engaging in piracy, they'll also be protected from rights holders filing future lawsuits against them, as if to say that their previous inaction was facilitating this piracy. He adds that with his own ACPA, the American Copyright Protection Act, the two competing bills created the sense of not if, but when and which. And if you look at the comments, one person says, you want to stop the piracy sites? Give us a streaming site that works. One says they're not, I'm saying piracy is right, but it forces the hand, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. The main reason why people pirate is because they don't want to pay for it. Let's be real. Why pay $7.99 a month for an anime when you can go to a site and watch it for free? There are people who will pay that same amount for VPNs for the same thing. Which, by the way, if you do block a site, all you need is the proper VPN and you can bypass it. But remember, there are sites that can block VPNs. Like Netflix has gotten pretty smart on VPN blocking through IP addressing. And what's interesting is one of the sites that I use for finding music was blocked. But it has a subdomain which I can easily access. I guess they didn't decide to block that. And I just recently checked. The original site that was blocked is no longer blocked. So that makes no sense, but whatever. So, like, it's just a matter of time. You know, eventually, 99% of the people are going to have to pay for what they get anyway. So, pony up. All right, next up on our story. All right. Ari, tell us what's going on with Aniplex.
Well, okay, let's see. Aniplex and Crunchyroll announced today that they have jointly invested in and established Hayate Incorporated, an anime production business focused on planning, developing, and producing anime content for the Crunchyroll streaming service globally.
Mm-hmm.
The joint venture staff, which will include employees from Aniplex and Crunchyroll, is led by Masanori Miyake, chairman and CEO, and Leo Watanabe, president and COO, both from Aniplex. The establishment of Hayate, headquartered in Tokyo, promises, quote, premium content for anime fans worldwide using Aniplex's production know-how cultivated over the years through its partnerships with a wide range of creators and studios, and Crunchyroll's development, marketing, and distribution capabilities built upon its strong ties to the anime community and passionate fandom for the official release. The announcements marks continued investment by Aniplex and Crunchyroll in bringing new anime content to fans worldwide.
And now what they need...
good. Hooray for more anime stuff.
Yeah, what they need to do with that is like spin that off as its own little subsidiary to kind of dilute the pool. Because most people feel like they don't have a choice but Crunchyroll. Personally, I still think they should have left Crunchyroll as one thing and Funimation as another. Sort of like when WWE bought WCW and then they brought in ECW. Something like that. Yeah, well,
they tried to do its own version of WCW and it went over like a fart in church.
I know, and I actually enjoyed it. The new logo and everything, I thought it was great. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, they could have just did WWE Raw on Monday Night Raw, and then Thursdays just slowly phase out SmackDown and bring in WCW Thursday Nitro or something like that. Could have worked. But then we had that half-ass invasion angle. Anywho. Ari, I will see you on Thursday.
Yep. I will see you guys later.
You got it.
See you later, Mako. See you later, Ranma.
Gotcha. Okay, let's flip past to 2-play mode, and let me go ahead and change the overlay so that everybody knows it's Mako and not Barry. Now, if I could just actually find the default, no, that's not the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm not chipper enough to be Barry.
I don't know how they do it. I legitimately don't know. So it's like one of my coworkers in the morning. I'm just like, there have been some mornings where I'm good when I get my cup of coffee. Other times I'm just like, don't talk to me. There's one coworker, she's just all chipper. I'm just like, where do you get that energy from? Not that I want you to teach me your ways, but where do you get that energy from? You know? Anywho, moving right along. This one's right up your alley there, Mako.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what they're going to do with it. But there is an authorized Serial Experiments Lain spin-off game that will be launching on April 30th. I'm going to guess that it's just called Signal. At least that's what I'm assuming. It is launching as an occult role-playing game that is an officially authorized spin-off from the Serial Experiments Lain anime. It's going to be on Steam and itch.io services on April 30th. The Windows and Mac game will cost 1,000 yen, which is about $7 for the digital version. Or there is going to be a limited edition CD-ROM release for 1,700 yen, or about $11. It is authorized under the guidelines that NBC Universal Entertainment published for residents of Japan to make derivative works of the anime from 2019 and 2028. The game's staff emphasized this by posting a letter that is essentially a positive blurb from the anime's script writer, Chiaki J. Konaka. The game has the player interacting with characters from the anime, assembling emails and event logs from the past, and piecing together broken bonds again. Through this, the player can uncover a new facet of the character Lain, and by extension, Serial Experiments Lain itself. So for those that don't know, the anime is a 13-episode anime that aired in Japan from July to September of 1998. It was originally planned as a game, and it did eventually became a PlayStation software title in November of 1998. It was there's also an alternate reality game based on the series, Layer 3301 Decipher, that was brought about in June of 23. However, it was canceled 4 months later.
Whoops.
Yeah. So yeah, it is not something that can really be seen. I don't think it's licensed by anybody in the States as of right now. But yeah, if you can find it, it's one of those really weird, psycho kind of what the fuck anime. And it seems like the game would be kind of right there with it. So I kind of want to play it. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to play it.
I think it's going to come out through that same company for Steam in the US.
I mean, that's perfectly okay. I'm perfectly okay with them just putting subtitles on it. It's how I watch the original anime. So I would play the hell out of that.
I believe you would. All right, let me go ahead and close that window out so we can jump over to our next story where we will be discussing Niantic and Pokemon Go. I mean, given who they sold it to, if I was not playing the game at this time, I would have just said, "Nope, I am done." I know a lot of people who have just said they're not playing Pokemon Go anymore because it's being sold to the Saudi Arabian investment group. Now, some of you are probably thinking that's not them, that's Scopely. Scopely is owned by the Saudi Arabian investment fund, so you know. And there was similar grief with SNK since this group actually owns them, like a portion or something like that. So even though people hated it, it was enough for SNK to give them put out another Fatal Fury game. So there is that. So anywho, I believe by the time this article came up, the deal has already happened. But if not, it will soon happen. And basically,
they agreed on it, but yeah. I don't think it's been officially signed yet.
Right. Okay. And I wonder if Pokemon, the TPCI, has anything to say about this. I do wonder.
That's the only reason why I'm kind of sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
Is because no matter who gets it, it's Pokemon branded.
Right.
They can't really fuck around with it.
Mm-hmm. Unless you have Pikachu wearing a turban.
I would not be surprised if there are plushies out there like that already.
So basically, it was announced that Scopely is buying Niantic's gaming division for $3.5 billion and an additional $350 million in cash. The deal is basically nearly $4 billion, and it's supposed to close later this year. Scopely also acquired Niantic's Campfire app, which connects local communities, and Wayfarer, which allows players to map new locations. The game teams from Niantic will remain together and operate under their longtime leaders, Pokemon Go Senior Vice President Ed Wu and CPO, Chief Product Officer Kei Kawai. Niantic stated that this partnership will ensure that its games will have the long-term support needed to be forever games. So there were talks of this going back as early as last month. Now, Niantic also announced that it's spinning off its geospatial AI business into a new company called Niantic Spatial Inc. They are developing a large geospatial model, allowing people and machines to understand and navigate the world. They will continue to own and operate Ingress Prime and the Peridot AR games. At least there's that. And see the Berry says, "Well, at least keep playing Pokemon Sleep." Valid point, good sir. Valid point. Niantic and TPCI launched Pokemon GO in select countries, including the US, back in July of 2016. Niantic also developed Pikmin Bloom, an AR app based on Nintendo's Pikmin franchise, which came out in 2021. Niantic most recently developed the Monster Hunter Now game, the new augmented reality smartphone game from Capcom's Monster Hunter series, which came out in September of 2023. Niantic's Ingress AR app inspired an anime adaptation premiered in October 2018. Netflix has the rights to that and started streaming that in the worldwide April of 2019. And it's also available on Blu-ray through Sentai Filmworks. Scopely is known for mobile games such as Marvel Strike Force, Starfleet Command, Monopoly Go, and Looney Tunes World of Mayhem. Yes, I'll admit, I was a Monopoly Go fan. I think I've invested no more than $100 playing that game. And I wasn't buying like packs of back to back to back. It was like sporadically here and there. I'm just like, well, I have enough in my account. I'm not going to worry about this $20. So, it was like that. Savvy Games Group, a subsidiary in the Kingdom of a subsidiary of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, acquired Scopely for $4.9 billion in 2023. Savvy Games Group and Niantic already signed a memorandum of understanding in August to help Niantic expand in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt. The Public Investment Fund also has investments in Toei, Nintendo, and other Japanese companies. The separate Mohammed bin Salman Foundation, founded by Mohammed, owns the Saudi studio Manga Productions and 96% of the company SNK. In February 2021, the U.S. Office of the Director of National Intelligence assessed that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved an operation in Istanbul, Turkey, to capture or kill Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi was a Saudi journalist who relocated to the U.S. and wrote for the Washington Post newspaper before being killed in 2018. The Saudi Arabian government completely rejected the U.S. assessment. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been criticized for pursuing a war in Yemen that has caused a humanitarian disaster and for cracking down on discerning voices. He has also been praised for ending a ban on women drivers in 2018. Now you can understand more why people are like, well, if Scopely has it, go, I'm not playing anymore. And can't say I don't blame them either. Anywho, Mako, tell them about Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, so for those that are out there playing Dead by Daylight, happen to be anime fans, Behavior Interactive announced last Tuesday that Dead by Daylight will add Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul as a playable character on April 2nd. He will be joining the game as a killer with a unique set of moves. He can damage survivors to turn a dull totem into a hex totem, which will temporarily hinder survivors when they are hit with a basic attack. Survivors also gain a token up to a max of 8 whenever they are hit, increasing his speed. When he hooks survivors for the first time, he also gains a token. And each token gained will block windows and upright panels for a duration after all generators are completed. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty freaking cool that we're getting some decent anime representation in Dead by Daylight.
You gonna download and play the game now?
No. No, if Silent Hill didn't bring me into the series, Tokyo Ghoul is not.
Fair enough.
But I have people that I watch on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends that play it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be surprised if they end up getting the killer, and then I can just watch them play it.
Live vicariously through the others.
Yeah, it's definitely not a game that I would even remotely be interested in playing, but I enjoy watching the hell out of it.
I'm not a big horror fan. I mean, like, the closest game like that I would play is Lunch Lady, and that's with Say and Yaten and a few others. Outside of that, no, that's okay. Not really my cup of tea.
No,
Okay.
I love watching horror streamers and watching them play horror games. If I didn't have such a freaking backlog, I would sit down and start playing all of the Resident Evils again. Except that I hate the controls of Resident Evil, which is why I usually watch people play it. I hate tank controls.
There. All right, next up, we're going to talk about is Pokemon Horizons, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Pokemon Horizons.
Yeah, that's me again.
Oh, right. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so Pokemon Horizons is the new Pokemon series that is out. It is the one that replaced the Pokemon series with Ash Ketchum. However, this series is now doing something that Pokemon anime has never done before. They're going to age the characters during a time jump.
Time skip.
Yeah. So they have always kept Ash as 10. It's kind of like a Simpsons kind of thing, where things keep going and the plot keeps progressing, and they do talk about, how many years have passed, but the characters always stay the same age. That is how Pokemon has been until Horizons. And now this will be the first time in 25 years that they will be doing a time jump. Unfortunately, it kind of needs it because the series is not doing as well as they had hoped.
Ooh, that's not good.
Probably because the three main characters, or I should say the three main children characters, are very young, very inexperienced. They are brand new to to Pokemon and all of that. Whereas in the past, Ash has always traveled with somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing, for the most part. At least when he was, starting out.
Yeah, that's true.
This one, obviously, like, all three of the main characters are all at the same level. So they've had, an outside character, adult, with a Pikachu that ends up saving their asses constantly. So yeah. But yeah, so the next series is going to be titled Mega Voltage. They're thinking, or the people that are, figuring out what's going on for, spoilers and everything, assuming that it's going to reflect the new game that's coming out, Z through A. So, they're anticipating Mega Evolution and things like that popping into the new season. And again, it's kind of needed because of, again, just the youth of the characters, the inexperience of the characters. So yeah, we'll see what is going on. If they just give them experience without aging them, if they age them, and what is going on with that. I have to say, I haven't watched any of the new series.
I was going to ask if you did.
Yeah, no, I will probably sit down and watch it, as you know, as a season per season kind of thing.
Right.
But I was not happy with the way that they decided to do things. They had originally planned for the series to at least backtrack into the previous series, so you saw at least, you know, that they met up with past gym challenges and things like that, while doing whatever they're doing in the series, and that was shut down. So there's nothing from the old series to really bridge the old fans into the new ones. And unfortunately, I think this anime is showing that the older fans are what is really the driving force of Pokemon at this point. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping that they will get some things together and at least give us older fans some cameos of characters that we know.
I'm all for that. Don't forget the crew that started it all.
That they're trying to, you know, step away from all of that, but go for the characters that are at least in the games.
Valid.
You know, you can step away from the main characters that interacted with Ash all the time. Step away from them. There are tons of gym leaders that, you know, maybe only showed up once or twice in the original series. And while they obviously interacted with Ash and whoever was following him at the time, you know, it's not all of them. It's not Brock. It's not Misty. You know, there are other ways to bring in the nostalgia of the old games into this new series. And I think that is what they need to do to really save what is going on with it right now.
I'm about that every little bit.
I also think that that would help Pokemon Go, which obviously is failing at this point.
Really? It's been nothing. I just keep hearing it's just been printing money hand over fist.
It was until they started backtracking for stuff that they implemented during the pandemic. Once they started backtracking some of that stuff and increasing the price of other things, a lot of people started leaving. It is nowhere near as popular as it had been.
Can't say I don't blame them. I really don't. And now for our last story of the night, we're going to talk about the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid movie, which is kind of interesting. I think I totally forgot they were going to do one too. The official website for Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, a lonely dragon wants to be loved, better known as Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon Samashigaria no Ryu. Film has been announced and it'll be available in 4DX and MX4D screenings this coming Friday. This coming Friday, and it'll be open in 199 theaters in Japan. These special screenings will start simultaneously with the regular screenings. Pony Canyon's Anime Japan 2025 booth will sell movie tiki cards in advance on March 22nd and 23rd. The cards will feature the film's first key visual, and each one will come with one of 5 randomly distributed mini clear file folders as a bonus. Fans can alternately buy the 5 cards as a complete set with all 5 clear file folders. The website also announced that the television rebroadcast of the series will begin on April 2nd in Japan. The KyoAni YouTube channel will stream the 21 Minidota short anime episodes for a limited time. This film will be available on June 27th. Shiori Sugiura voices Ilulu in the film, replacing Tomomi Miniuchi, who quit voice acting 3 years ago. Tatsuya Ishihara will direct the anime, and the film will have feature returning cast members such as Mutsumi Tamura as Kobayashi, Yuki Kuwahara as Toru, and Maria Naganawa as Kana. Cool Kukshu Shinja began the ongoing Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid manga in the inaugural issue of Monthly Action magazine, May of 2013. The manga moved to Manga Action on February 24th, when Manga Action ended publication. The translation of the manga is available in the US by 7 Seas Entertainment. The series inspired an anime adaptation put together by Kill Anime that premiered in January 2017. It has been streamed on Crunchyroll as it aired in Japan, and it's available out through streams on the Crunchyroll app. Funimation did release the anime on Blu-ray, disc, and DVD April of 2020. Ms. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, the anime's second season, premiered in 2021. Crunchyroll streamed the anime as it aired in Japan. Funimation streamed the English dub. The anime received a special Volume S on Blu-ray disc and DVD, which includes an unaired episode called Nippon no Omotenashi, Attend Wa Dragon Desu. It translates to Japanese hospitality, my attendant is a dragon. That volume shipped in January 2022. And there have been numerous spin-off mangas inspired by this, such as Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Elma's Office Lady Diary. We have Fafnir the Recluse, and Kana's Daily Life, which all available in English through 7 Seas Entertainment. Seems legit. My favorite dragon will always be Irma or Elma, however you want to say it. All right, now we got that out the way. We are at the part of the show that y'all really like to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan, normally we'd have 3 stories up for you, but we only have 2 because Ari has called it for tonight. So, which I don't blame him. The man's got to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning for work. God bless him. Let's see, what do we have here? You know what? I'm gonna take the first story.
Okay. I'll take the second one.
Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised I'm taking the first one because you know how much I enjoy like trains and stuff like that. It's really cool subject.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I am hoping that if with my trip I can get a chance to visit the Tokyo Railway Museum. Kind of looking forward to that. I also put the Osaka one down just in case I can't get into the Tokyo one. This one's better. First story is world's first 3D printed train, a station building planned by J.R. West. Not Jim Ross, but J.R. Japan Rail. Japan is a home to a wide variety of train stations, from tiny countryside sheds to sprawling urban complexes. Stations with their own wineries and ones with giant ancient relics whose eyes glow. It's gotten to the point where it's really hard to be the first anything when it comes to train stations, but J.R. West has managed the first ever 3D printed station building. This new structure is scheduled to replace the current one at Hatsushima Station on the JR Kisei main line in Arita City, Wakayama Prefecture. Like many relatively rural stations in Japan, the wooden structures are aging and in need of replacement. Call me crazy, but that might be more vending machines than necessary at a station like that, with a lot of them that there is. The new building will be about the same size, covering 10 square meters or 108 square feet, and made from a more durable reinforced concrete. The foundation and exterior of the building will be printed off-site by the Osaka-based 3D printer housing company Serendix. The station building will be printed in pieces that will undergo further processing, such as rebar installation and concrete pouring. When ready, they'll be sent to the site and assembled. This process will greatly speed up construction time, and it is expected that the old Hatsushima station will be taken down and a new one up and running in only 6 hours. The time between the last train at night and the first train in the morning. In addition to requiring considerably less time, labor, and cost, this process allows for a lot more flexibility in design, well beyond the typical rectangles and triangles normally used in buildings. This is because the typical concrete buildings are made with formwork, which is a frame of wooden and or metal beams and sheets into which the concrete is poured and given shape. Using formwork, anything can be a rectangle. Using formwork, anything beyond a rectangle introduces problems in that special frames need to be developed both to accommodate the shape and the added weight from the shape not being at the right angles. But with 3D printing, more elegant curves and even intricate designs can be more easily accomplished. That is nice. If all goes according to plan, this will become the norm for GR West's effort to replace aging stations. So if you happen to wake up one morning and find yourself at your local station completely replaced with a much fancier one, you know how it's done. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I there are so many different types of 3D printers out there now.
Mm-hmm.
I am not surprised that Japan is thinking about doing something like this first.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised that it took so long. Again, because there are so many different types of 3D printers out there now.
Yeah.
That print cement. But yeah.
All right. Now, our last Meanwhile in Japan story basically is something that we kind of discuss on here sporadically. A foreign man arrested for trespassing while drunk.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately where he decided to trespass that is the real issue. So yeah, in the early hours of Sunday morning, a quote unquote large Western appearing young man was arrested on the grounds of the Imperial Palace.
What?
According to the Imperial Guard, which is the Japanese police force tasked with protecting the imperial family and their residences, the man was spotted by an officer walking on an embankment of the palace grounds outside the Hanzomon Gate, past the fence that marks the boundary of the area in which the public is allowed.
Mm-mm.
The man did not become physically confrontational as he was taken into custody, nor was he in any possession of weapons or any other items to be able to use something with malicious intent. He was, however, in a clearly intoxicated condition and unable to communicate in Japanese. So he was taken to the precinct to sober up, and an English proficient officer summoned to explain the situation he'd gotten himself into. Given that he was unarmed and compliant, it seems unlikely that the man's intrusion was premeditated, and it's not currently clear if his alcohol-addled brain had even registered just where he was walking. All the same, considering the gate is the closest gate to the imperial family's residency compound within the palace grounds, his intrusion isn't something that's going to be taken lightly either. So if you're having issues at 2:00 in the morning after being drunk, go to your home and not the imperial family's home.
Or at least go to a hotel and sleep it off.
I mean, you don't even have to go to the hotels anymore.
Yeah, you can actually go to all-night manga cafes and stuff.
All-night manga cafes. There are all-night video gaming cafes out there now. And they expect people, because they have little rooms that you can rent out, they expect people to basically go in there and fall asleep.
I think a few of them you can actually freshen up there too.
I think so. I know that there are a couple of them that are basically, they are treated as an overnight hostel, basically. You just don't get a bed, you get a desk and a chair. Which, if you're thinking about it and you only need to go from, 2 a.m. when the bars close until 6 or 7 a.m. when the trains start running again, not bad. You sober up, you get a nap. You sober up, you read some, or you don't sober up and you just decide to stay up gaming all night. Either way.
See, I can't do that. I gotta get some type of sleep in my system.
If I don't have anything to do the next day, I can do an overnight like that. One of those that, yeah, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be a zombie, so don't ask anything of me until I actually sleep. After I wake up after that, you're fine.
In this case, sleep is not for the weak.
But don't expect anything, much more than that.
All right. I think we're done here. All right, just waiting for the page to refresh so we can go ahead and get up on out of here. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and cue up our theme song. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. What we like or don't like, we're going to straight up tell you. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And in our chat room here, Mr. J says he would show up here on Colored People Time. Well, yeah, plus you're also like, I think 3 hours behind us too. So if you like the show, check out other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, anywhere where podcasts are available. Check out the show. We'd love to hear what you think. If you don't want to email, just leave a comment through the app. Check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast. You'll also find anime reviews, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews. You will find anime reviews, editorials, links back to our YouTube page and our Facebook page of cosplay and convention coverage. Follow us on...
I swear that was water.
Follow us on our social media pages. Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Yes, we are on Blue Sky, so come check us out. Come hang out with us. We really appreciate that. And all of you who follow us on our socials, thank you so much. We couldn't do the show without you. Down below is our tip jar. If you click on our links directly to our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi, anything you put in it comes straight to us to help us pay off the server bills and all that stuff. If you want, you can also cheer us on with bits. You can also sub to the channel and give out gift subs. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako.
While I'm going to miss going and seeing everybody at ZenkaiCon, I also have been out of commission for the last couple of weekends, so I need to get to work on shit.
My last words is, I forgot to mention that I went to see Cowboy Bebop live as the Bebop Bounty Big Band, and it was amazing. Wendy Lee has an amazing singing voice. There's a couple of videos on my Blue Sky page, which is bluesky.app/djronmess.net. Check them out there. I might have put them on my Facebook page. I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little discombobulating when you're trying to put the stuff through your app or something like that. So, anywho, that is it. End of list. We're going to get up on out of here. We'll be back next week with our ZenkaiCon 2025 convention review. So, I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're getting up on out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!